We're back. For the second race, we've reversed the top 8 from yesterday, and everyone here is getting ready for what's shaping up to be a thrilling conclusion to the weekend. I'm not the only one sitting here today who's looking forward to today's race. My friend and ex-GP2 champion Davide Valsecchi next to me is already on the edge of his seat awaiting the start of the event. How's it going today?
Hello there, Alex. I'm great, thank you, and very excited to get started. I have a feeling we are in for a very special event today.
Okay, this is it. Last race of the season. All you have to do is finish in the points ahead of Devon, and the next time we see each other, you'll be the F2 World Champion. No pressure then. Good luck.
So, once again, it appears that the team are unaware that Devon Butler is not in Formula 2, but we'll gloss over that once more. They're as well not getting any grid rundown. A little bit disappointed not to see that either, but we start P6 for the final race of the F2 Championship. Obviously, if you guys missed out on yesterday's video, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But yeah, it's all sealed now. This one is just for a bit of fun at the end of the day. Hopefully, we can finish the series on a high, potentially a double podium here in Abu Dhabi. But I just want to jump into this. Let's get this show on the road. We start alongside Nick Latifi. We've got King and Delatraz just in front of us. The 5 lights are on for the final time. And it is lights out and away we go. They're responding quite poorly to the lights, as always you probably come to expect in this series. It won't let us have any good starts there between Sete Camera and I think that was Giotto through turn 1, but we do hold on. There's a couple of battles still going on up and down the field. Hubert and Jordan King are in a good battle, as well as obviously the big one that we're looking out for is Nick de Vries versus Sete Camera there. Sete Camera can only afford to lose 5 points to the Dutch driver, so we'll wait and see as to how that goes between these guys. But for us, we've got nothing to lose, we've got nothing to gain. We may as well just go all out and try to win this race at the end of the day. We've got Sete Camera already trying to apply the pressure. He doesn't want to leave this to any risk in the early stages of this race, but can't quite make the move work down in towards the chicane. Try and get the power down on the exit. Got a bit of a better run there than Nick de Vries. Could we potentially have a bit of a look up the inside? It's just a drag race at the moment there. It looks like he's actually got slightly better top end. So we'll try to have a switch back to the outside. Squeeze him out over the curbs. We've made it work. Up into P6 once again. So we've held on now to our grid slot. That's exactly what we needed. Now we need to try and make progress. Forcing out Latifi a little bit wide on the exit of the chicane there, but we make the move work. He gets himself caught over the curbs, can't put the power down.
Nice move.
So we're up into P5 then. And we're still obviously setting purple sectors at the moment. So now we're starting to make a bit of progress. We've got Delatraz, King, Aitken and Hubert who currently leads the way. So we'll wait and see as to what we can do trying to get past these guys. 9 laps to go though in this race. It's always quite weird. The sprint races aren't that much shorter than the features in this series, but obviously without the pit stop they do feel very different. On to lap 3 though, we should have the DRS on Louis Delatraz. However, he's also going to have it, as well as King, as well as Aitken there, so it just looks like we're jumping into a slipstream train at the moment. We might need to go for some big brave moves in the future if we struggle to make progress, and that was an accidental big move. But we've made it work. A little bit of contact with Delatraz, but this is Formula 2. And we're now up into P4. On to lap 5, really starting to apply some pressure to Jordan King. Can we potentially make a bit of a move work? Obviously we had to pull out a big dive bomb on Louis Delatraz a couple of laps ago, but at the moment everyone's just sticking behind Hubert. Aitken isn't getting close enough to apply the pressure, so we're just sort of sat here but not much we can do at this stage of the race. Getting very close actually to Jordan King there. Potentially open up the exit a bit more. No, I don't think so. King makes a bit of a mistake at the final couple of corners then. Might be able to get a run down in towards turn 1. Try and go for a switchback perhaps. Nah, ride too much curb. Can't get the power down. We need to try and get past him though. Maybe there? No, not quite. Not quite brave enough for that, I'll be honest. As much as I've got nothing to lose in this Grand Prix, I also don't want to throw away a good result. We need to finish the series on a high. Should have gone for the Schumacher bump and run at the hairpin there, like did to Albon back in 2017. But yeah, at the moment we're just still sat in this train, man. Delatraz and Latifi seem to be doing alright. Seems Nick de Vries has actually dropped behind Sete Camera. So, I mean, he spent most of the series in P2. Looks like he's thrown it away right at the very end. That's a good run though on Jordan King. Surely this has got to open up something in this Grand Prix here. We're going to have to go for the send. Jordan King though trying to go defensive. He does leave the door open. I'm going to go very, very late on the brakes, but we do get it slowed down. Don't go into the back of Aitken. And we're now finally back up into the podium places. Need to try and get a good run on Jack Aitken here as we head on to lap 7. Only 4.5 laps to go in this race. Can we go for the send? No lockups. Fairly undramatic. Bit of wheel spin on the exit, but Aitken surely has been dispatched. Surely there's not going to be much Hubert can do in terms of defence here. Should just be a case of a nice simple DRS overtake, but it's never quite that simple in Formula 2. You can see they are gaining quite a bit, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think, just yet. See if we can get all onto the back of him for the second straight away. That's probably a bit too much curb, and I think we've blown our chance this lap. Come on, Hubert. Accept the inevitable. We've got the DRS once again on you. We're way, way closer this time round. Let's do this thing. Hubert's going to go defensive. Of course he is. We're going to look straight to the outside. Does keep the nose in there, to be fair to him. We'll give him the room. Almost some wheel-to-wheel contact. Ooh, getting horrible traction on the exit, though. That wasn't quite the run we needed. Hubert's going to dive into the slipstream. He's now the one with the DRS. And he's got to the inside again, so he's going to be able to make the cutback move. Can we get a bit later on the brakes? Completely overshot. Hubert lives to defend this race lead. He clearly wants it. At the moment, obviously he needs the points over Jordan King, but I think even if he lost this race lead, he'd still be safe for it. Come on, Hubert. Let's make the move work this time round. Got to get to the inside of him so we can't get the switchback move. In the DRS, slipstream, everything like that. He does try to move to defend it again, but this time round, we should be good. Slot back over towards the racing line. Don't allow him the room. And now we've got to try and get the power down a bit tidier than we did last time round. You've got to short shift over that bump. Otherwise, you're going to cost yourself a lot of time. And I think we're just over a lap to go. Although Hubert is gaining, so I better not speak too soon. We are now up into the lead of the Abu Dhabi sprint race here. Let's bring this home. As is tradition though with this channel, we are going to ride on board with the final lap of a season. Jeff's talking in the background about stuff that's not really relevant at the moment. We've built up a little bit of a margin over Hubert as well, so I think unless obviously we make a mistake, we should be safe now between now and the end of this Grand Prix. But yeah, what a series it's been. I've really, really enjoyed it at the end of the day. Hasn't had the best support, but ultimately I'm not too worried about that at the moment. I'm just looking to have a bit of fun, and that's what these F2 cars really do provide here. It's been an up and down championship. I honestly thought after sort of Spain and Monaco, we were probably not even going to win this title. But since then, you know, the luck's been on our side a fair bit. I'm more than happy to admit that as well, but we've done everything we needed to. We've taken a lot of race victories, if I'm not mistaken. Probably, I mean, I think we won one at Silverstone, one at France, one at Hungary, maybe one at Belgium, one at Italy, one at Russia. We've been, yeah, very much dominant in the second half of this championship. Normally, though, however, it has been the sprint races, so a bit interesting that that has been the case for so long in this championship. But that's the way it goes sometimes as well. You've got to be able to pick up the points in all of the races there. You can see we're actually making a big mistake allowed Hubert to get a lot closer once again. But at the end of the day, though, we did everything we needed to. We had a bit more consistency, a bit better reliability in the Prema card. Unfortunately, not able to wrap up the constructors, but for us at the end of the day, all you ever race in an F2 is to try and get your gig in Formula 1. And I'm sure if this had been the season, potentially this is the season that Mick Schumacher gets in 2020, he'll be right on board for Formula 1. It's the race victory here in Abu Dhabi to finish off the championship.
Great job, you've done everything we wanted today.
So another excellent win from Prema. And I have to wonder, Davide Valsecchi, just what set them apart from the competition here.
I think this race was won thanks to the tire management. You have to remember, it's not just about going as fast as you can, it's about consistency. It's about maintaining your speed over an entire race distance. So being able to keep the lap time competitive while still respecting the tires, that's where they won today.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It might have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now. We have a new Formula 2 World Drivers' Champion. That result also seals the Formula 2 World Championship title. Congratulations to our winner after an incredible season. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
My driver of the day is Mick Schumacher. With this team, Prema Power Team, they made the difference on the race strategy. Fantastic.
Where Dams have taken the team's championship title. They are this year's Formula 2 team champions. Meanwhile, Arden's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. And after all that excitement, I think it's time for a lie down. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you when Formula 2 returns.
So there we are then, guys, the end of the F2 Mick Schumacher career mode. We've done everything we set out to at the end of the day and wrapped up the Drivers' World Championship there. Having a look at the race results, though, Antoine Hubert does come through for P2 ahead of Jack Aitken, who reigns at the podium for the final time this series there. Jordan King having a very good weekend to finish P4 twice, ahead of Delatraz, Latifi, Sete Camara and Giotto finishing out the point scorers there. Matsushita and my teammate Galale round out the finishes there. With Guan Yu Zhou, Mazepin, Ilott, Nick de Vries having a torrid day out to finish off his World Championship campaign. With Bocalacci, Bolshun, Calderon, Raghunathan, Correa and Alesi there. And both races this weekend, everyone made it to the finish line there. In terms of the weekend, though, we were the top scorer. 15 points from both races and then 4 points for fastest laps as well. Means that we did stay ahead of Sete Camara there with Nick de Vries in third. And this is what I was talking about in that race, about where we make the difference there. The top guys normally scoring, 20, 25 points, especially obviously if you do get that race victory. But we're consistently scoring good points in both races there. Normally means at the end of a weekend we have come out on top there. Jordan King and Hubert both pick up 18 points alongside Nick de Vries there, ahead of Latifi, Delatraz, Aitken there, with Giotto and my teammate Galale both picking up points at the end of the day though. In terms of the full Drivers' World Championships though, 314 points at the end of the day for ourselves there. 75 clear of Sergio Sete Camara at the end of the World Championship when all is said and done. Nick de Vries, disappointed I'm sure to finish P3 at the end of the day there. He probably should have been a much bigger rival to ourselves, had reliability and a bit of bad luck really screwed him a lot of times in this World Championship there. Giotto in fourth ahead of Latifi there. Delatraz in sixth on 174 points there. A quiet but very consistent season from the Swiss driver there. Hubert though does re-jump Jordan King at the end of the day by 2 points to finish P7 there. Aitken in ninth on 116 points. Guan Yu Zhou in a bit of no man's land on 81. The same can be said for my teammate Kaleo on 61, ahead, well, twice as many points just over of Matsushita there in 12th. Correa picks up 11 points. Mazepin and Beauchamp picking up 5 there, with Bocalacci and Callum Ilott being the last drivers to score points there. And that leaves Calderon, Alesi and Mr. Raghunathan all with 0 points at the end of the World Championship there. Teams-wise, every team did score points. We finished 55 back from Dams, though, in the end. At the end of the day, they had 2 drivers that... they were the only team that had 2 drivers that could fight for race victories at the end of the day. They're 430 points to our 375 there. Although nearly 100 clear of Virtuosi just behind us in P3 there. ART in 4th ahead of Carlin. And then obviously with Hubert outscoring Jordan Kingman. The Arden finished 6th, just 2 points ahead of MP Motorsport there. Campos in 8th with Sauber Charoux in 9th with Trident. 5 points at the end of the day, finishing last in 10th place there. Maybe I'm going to click advance and hopefully we get an end of championship screen as well. There we go. Just a confirmation there. The gold medal, 3 out of 3 stars gained from this championship, takes my total up to 3 on F1 2019. Now, we might do another series, but it won't be in the Formula 2 cars. That'll probably be it for Formula 2 action on the main channel here from F1 2019. Like I said, though, we might do a classic series as well, depending on how I'm feeling over the coming weeks. But yeah, thank you all for the continued support on the channel. If you did enjoy this series, make sure you do get yourself subscribed. Perhaps we'll have to go back to it on F1 2020 next year out, obviously if the F2 cars are featured once again. But that is it. F2 2019 wrapped up. It might be the only World Championship we win on F1 2019, but we will take it. And Mick Schumacher, yes, I'm sure he'd be happy with that and would probably be looked to set to make a jump into F1 for 2020.